Good morning, guys. Welcome to a video. We're going to do a restoration video. It's Friday today, my day off. Very welcome day off as well. And I've just taken receipt of this Savory's pipe, which is it's kind of a Dunhill seconds, really, like Parker or something like that. And they're very, very good pipes. And I saw this one on eBay. Buy it now, £12. I think it was £14 shipped to me, posted to me, which is probably about, I don't know, $10 maybe. Let's have a look at it. It's actually it's not terrible condition, to be honest. Yeah, a lot of heavy oxidation on the stem and under the stem. You can kind of see the stamping. There's a lot of cake build up, and it's been well loved and well used, but I think that can come up as quite a nice pipe. Let's take a closer look and let's have a look at its component parts and see what we need to do. There's the bowl. I love that rustication. You only get this through time. It would have been much heavily rusticated, and over time someone's handled it, and you get that little worn effect there on estate pipes, which, yeah, I quite like. Yeah, so I don't know, that might have been the flaw in the briar that didn't mean it was a Dunhill first. Just that little line there, it might not have passed the quality test, but it's certainly quite a nice piece of briar. So heavy build up around the rim, and that's going to need to be reamed definitely, because that's quite tight down there, and it's spilt over onto, yeah, that's going to need a bit of work on the rim. Yeah, the bowl is in quite good condition really. The all-important stamping is there, although slightly worn, and it says Savory's Argyle, made in London, England, and I can't read that without zooming in. 811, I think. Yeah, 811. Sorry, my eyesight's not as good as it used to be, but all in all, quite a nice bowl there, and I think that will hold a decent amount of tobacco, so it's well worth restoring, I think, this pipe. Let's have a look at the stem. The stem's not in great condition. I think the last third of the stem is the bit that really holds onto the pipe. And we can heat that up and expand it slightly. A lot of oxidation on the stem, and minimal tooth chatter really. Yes, it's worn, but I think with a little bit of time and effort, yeah, that looks horrible, doesn't it? We can get that back, and that is just over time, maybe a bit of saliva build up. Yeah, that's come out already. I don't know where that's gone, but that can be sorted out in a nice warm bath of OxyClean. So we've got a few things to do. Looking at this bowl, you think about staining the bowl. I think probably, and you could stain it and make it all uniform, but I think that would break the integrity of this pipe that's been well loved by somebody. I'd love to know who, but somebody's really loved smoking this pipe for many, many years, and they're probably not around anymore. So to preserve the originality, I guess, of the estate pipe is quite important to me, and yeah, I'm not going to restain it. I might put some feed and wax on it, and I think that would look really nice, and I want it to look like a estate pipe, and I want it to have many, many more years of smoking by me. So yeah, I've got a few things to do, but all in all, a very promising and exciting restoration. So let's think about what we're going to do first. Okay, let's draw our attention to this stem, which is very oxidised. And we are going to use some of this, which is stain remover. I think mainly people call it OxyClean, but it's the same thing. I've got a little bit left in there. I'm going to use an old Lift Instant tea jar. That's going to fit nicely in there. And it's got some warm water in. Just drop your stem in. You can use a scoop of that. In it goes. There we go. Okay. Yep, it's starting to turn a bit brown, so we'll leave this. We'll leave it for a good few hours. See how much of that oxidisation we can get off. So we put this to the side, and we will draw our attention to the bowl. And what we want to do is ream it really well. We start on the inside first, not the outside. So I'm going to use this. It's my clean ream from, I'd say, the 1950s. You can pick these up on eBay. They're really good. W.J. Young Machinery Company. And that's the old instructions for how to ream your pipe. So there's lots and lots of different parts to this. You've got a shank reamer and you've got a bowl reamer. So let's have a look at this. Here is the shank reamer. Let's see if it goes in there. Yep, it goes in quite well. Yeah, that goes all the way through and it's pretty clear as well, so we don't really need to worry about that. Let's give that a wipe. But what we are going to worry about is the bowl, because it's caked in carbon. So we'll start as small as we can, which is that one. Oh, there we go, that's tobacco coming out, you can see. Let's widen it slightly. And yeah, there we go. Some more tobacco. I wonder what this guy smoked. It's very, very dried pieces of tobacco. It's difficult to tell, isn't it? Okay, let's go a bit wider. I'm just going to get a light torch and I can have a look. Really quite blocked at the bottom. Yeah. Okay, we'll carry on. I do like this process. There we go. Have we broken on through? No, still haven't. God, there's a lot at the bottom there. Really is a lot. Okay, I'm going to go slightly smaller. I want to get right down in the bottom of the bowl, which is where all that tobacco's accumulated. There it is, look. So it looks as though he didn't smoke it all the way down to the bottom. And I don't think he filled his pipe to the top. That's a bit better. Yeah, that is a bit better. So much of it, look at this. Okay, I'm going to carry on with this. Okay, I'm making some progress. Making a bit of progress. There's a lot in there. What I'm going to do is carry on, and when I've finished, I'll come back to you. I could be here quite a while. Look at all that. That's a lot of carbon. Okay, so we've thoroughly reamed the pipe using the clean reamer. It's done a fantastic job, as you can see by the photos. A lot of carbon's come out of there. So the next thing to do, we're using isopropanol alcohol and a pipe cleaner, and we're just going to go through the bowl with that. I probably don't need to show you this part. You know how to clean a pipe, but take your time. Through it goes. Let it soak for a bit. And you're going to clean the pipe until the pipe cleaner comes out looking like that, which is clean. Okay, well, it's not going to begin with. You could go through a few hundred pipe cleaners doing this, which takes a long time. So just clean it out. That's what you're going to get when you start. And over a bit of time, give yourself time, and you're only cleaning out this part. You don't need to clean out the bowl. You can, if you want, whip this round the bowl afterwards to finish off, but you really, really want to clean thoroughly inside. All this is different tar build-up and probably flavourings and things like that, to old tobacco that have been sat there for years. And if you try and smoke your favourite blend, say, I don't know, St Bruno for instance, and you wonder why it tastes of cherry Cavendish, it's because the ghost of the previous smoker is still in there. We've got to remove it. There you go, look at that, it's completely black. So carry on with that. I'm not going to go through the whole process. It's basically dipping it in, going through as much as possible, putting that aside, and doing the same again and again and again until it comes out clear. And then we go on to the next step. Okay, so we've got a clean shank, we've got a very clean bowl, and the pipe won't remind you of the previous owner's tobacco. So here we are. The outside's very dull and dirty, full of grime, and there's a lot of build-up around the rim. So what we're going to use is some Murphy's concentrated oil soap, one of my favourites. And we're going to put it on neat first, and we're going to see what we can get out of this. So go and borrow your wife's toothbrush, or or your partner's toothbrush. I mean, I've had this for a little while. My previous, they last a good few years if you're, if you're careful. Use your old toothbrush, and they're perfect. They're abrasive enough to get dirt off, but not too abrasive that it's going to cause damage to the briar. So first thing we do is, of course, we plug the pipe. So some tissue paper into the bowl, and make sure no Murphy's oil soap can get in at all. So just roll up a little ball and push it in. Make sure it's not all the way in, else you can't get it out. And that's enough, okay? Now, dip your toothbrush into the oil soap and start working your way around the briar, and you'll see all that dirt lift, which is there, but it's going to take a little bit of work. And make sure you coat the rim of the bowl, because that's going to get to work on that build up. So this could be 50 years of grime and dirt built up, and that's why we can't see the grain. We can't see the stamping either, because on the underside it's full of dirt. It's worn down slightly, but the main reason is it's full of dirt. And so we're going to do a few coats of this, and just remember this is the outside of the pipe, and look how dirty it is. So this pipe has needed this for quite a while. So this is the first coat, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rinse this underwater, but I wanted to show you how much dirt you can and grime you can get off just by using a little bit of Murphy's. There we go, and you can see it's absolutely brightened up already. There you go, look at that. So I'm going to give it a rinse under the sink, and I'm going to wash this brush out, and I'm going to do a second coat. And I'm going to keep going until it's clear, but you can already see the stamping. You can see a little bit more of the grain. So we're going to carry on. We're going to make sure this pipe's lovely and clean. We need to work on the rim, which will just be scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing with the Murphy's to try and lift it. So I'll come back when the pipe is clean on the outside. Okay, so yep, that took a little bit of time. Scrubbing the bowl, cleaning it up. It's just drying off at the moment, but you can see, hopefully, things are a little bit clearer. Maybe I'll do a closer shot here. That would be better, wouldn't it? Yeah, that shot's better. You can really see it's nice and clean now. Can you see the stamping a bit clearer? Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's missing, but you can definitely see the stamping. It's fairly crisp. Savories, and you can see that lovely grain through the rustication. Right, the question is, do we add dye? Do we add dye to this pipe? And I think not, because I think I quite like the way it looks at the moment. Yeah, and I think all we need is maybe a little bit of feed and wax. What do you think? That side looks really nice. Yeah, a little bit of feed and wax probably. I think that will bring the grain right out. Top of the bowl took a bit of work. It was hiding one tiny flaw, which, I don't know if you can see it, it's right there, which is a tiny bit of wear that I'm not sure is going to notice. What do you think? We could fill it with a little bit of super glue and some briar dust, but for the work it's going to take, is it really worth it? And will I notice it once I apply the Howard's feed and wax? This little bit is burnt, I'm afraid, that tiny bit there. So that wood's actually charred, I think. I don't think it's carbon. I'll have a closer look. We might be able to pick that off if it is. Yeah, I'll have a look. You can see it there. See, I can't actually see it with the naked eye. It is carbon. I'm actually having to look through the video to do this because my glasses are not good enough. That was a piece of carbon. Okay. Any more? Any more? Yeah. Yeah, a little bit more there. Okay, that's good. Let's see, a little bit there maybe. I think that's got it. Yeah, I don't want to damage the pipe, really. I'm just going to go really careful. It's very hard to tell with these old pipes and the current stain whether you're taking off carbon or you're taking off briar. Yeah, I think that's got it pretty much. I will give it a little bit of a clean with some Murphy's, but I think that's probably got it. So yeah, very, very pleased with how that's turned out. I'm not going to bother with this tiny bit of scorching there on the bowl. I just think once it's coated in that feed and wax and it's darkened up slightly and the grains looking wonderful, you won't even notice. So really pleased so far with how beautiful that pipe's come out under all that dirt and grime. Okay, so this is overflowing now onto the desk, and I can see there we go, here it is. I can see it's yeah, it's a bit nicer now. Oh, I can scrape it with my finger. Isn't that amazing? There you go, look, that little bit I've scraped with my finger is quite a nice dark colour. So I think it's lifted it. You can see that bit there that's quite light. And I've got gloves on as well. You scrape it with your finger and it darkens. And so this isn't very dirty, to be honest. I'm going to leave it in there a bit longer with the lid off, I think, because it's going everywhere. I'm going to put it in the sink, and then what I'll do, I'll come back and show you with a magic eraser how much dirt I can get off of it. I think that's the best way. Okay, here we are at the sink. Let's take out the stem, which is there. Let's turn the water off. So here's the stem. It's just come out, and all we're going to do is use, I've got an old magic eraser here, which I'm going to go back and forth on and see what lifts off. There we go, it's all starting to lift. So we go over with this. It may still require a little bit of sanding afterwards, and I'll go through that process with you after I've done this. But yeah, it's lifting off a lot of dirt. Just gone for a little smoking break. Yeah, the sun's lovely. I've got quite red the other day. Smoking this little Dr. Grabo Riviera with some mystery mixture. I don't know what it is, but it's very nice. I've got a little pot in the shed, and when I come out here I dip into it, and it's the old couple of grams here, a couple of grams there, all mixed together, and it's absolutely wonderful, especially outside. I love smoking a pipe outside. Well, we better get back to this restoration, I guess. I'm quite enjoying it, actually, especially for me, the briar, cleaning the briar, reaming, and applying the Howard's Feed and Wax is by far my favourite part of restoring a pipe. And of course at the end when you get to smoke it, it's great fun. So let's go in and carry on with this restoration. Okay guys, we've got here on one part my favourite thing to do during the whole process, which is apply the Howard's Feed and Wax to the briar, and on the other hand my least favourite part, which is sanding the stem, which is quite toothy and rather dull. And what I do is I use micro mesh pads going all the way from 1500 all the way to this one. I think that's 12,000, which is barely rough. It just polishes it. And then finishing off with some obsidian oil. So that's my least favourite. Should we do my favourite part first? Because I think that's the most dramatic difference, isn't it, on this pipe? So what I'm going to do is I'll put the stem back on just to hold it, but I'll zoom in and do it. I'm going to put my finger in that Howard's Feed and Wax. I'm going to rub it into the briar, and it'd be nice to have a close-up shot of that, wouldn't it? There we go. There's that lovely briar. Can you see the stem? I mean, a lot of it has come out, but it still needs sanding to get rid of that dullness and toothiness. But shall we do my favourite part first? I'm just going to do a little section and then I'm going to change the video. Look what it does to it. Howard's Feed and Wax. It's a miracle worker and it seeps into the briar, and it just transforms it. It looks wonderful. And that is exactly the finish I wanted. Keeping with how original this pipe is and the age of it. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Very, very nice. So yeah, you work that around the whole pipe. You don't need that much. You let it sit for about 10-20 minutes. Yeah, it looks really, really nice. So let's do the rest of it and I'll show you the final product. Right. It looks very, very dark on camera, doesn't it? I think the other shot is better. But I'll show you the end result, a nice close-up of it when I finished it. But you just want to work the feed and wax around all the parts of the briar and making sure you get the stamping and all the rustication. You can use a toothbrush to do this, but I find my finger just works. And as you can see, I can't really tell now where that burn mark is on the side. It just blends in nicely. Once you've got enough on, all you need to do is remove the stem and remember round there as well. And it looks at the moment very, very dark. But what I'll do, I'll do a close-up shot of it, and you'll see how nice the wood looks and original, and I think in keeping with the age and it's the way it's been smoked over the years. I think that's important. Right, let's have a few close-up shots of this. There we go. Isn't that nice? Can you see the stamping? Just about. I really like this side of the pipe. I think that's really nice. Yeah, I'm very, very happy. Of course, it's going to be darker at the top. I'm still not 100% on this. I'm not sure whether that is, I don't know. I can't tell. My eyesight isn't good enough to tell if that is briar or if it's carbon, but I don't think it matters. I can't really tell. So it doesn't matter. I'm the one smoking it, and I think that looks lovely. And very, very original. That's my favourite part. So very, very, very happy with that, especially that side. I think that looks wonderful, don't you think? My least favourite part is, of course, this. You can see a bit toothy. It's got some grime and dirt still by the button. And that doesn't look very good, does it? I can probably pick that out with my knife. And then we're going to go through all the micro mesh pads. So you start off just rubbing it all down with water. With this one, 1500, and you work your way through the whole lot until you end up with the pink one. 12,000. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I can show you the process if you like. But, I'm going to use a knife and pick the dirt, and it is dirt, and whatever it is, spittle, out of there. That's all it takes. Do not be rough with this. It's the button. There you go. That's all it is. You can go on the other side as well. Run your knife across and get all that dirt out that's from someone's mouth. When you think about it, it's not very nice, is it? But we're going to clean this so it's all ready to smoke, and it's going to be absolutely fine. But I know some people are a little bit perhaps squeamish about estate pipes for this reason. Someone else has smoked it, or someone who's died has smoked it. If you clean it properly, it's not a problem, is it? There we go. Yep, much better on both sides. Now it's the boring bit, my least favourite bit, going through all of these micro mesh pads. Look how brown it is coming off. I'm on the home straight on this. This is the 3200 grit. Yep, and what you're doing is you're going over the whole pipe, and then you change to your next one, which is that one. You get a chart with it so you know exactly which ones to go through. So micro mesh pads, highly recommended stuff, and they really do get through some of that oxidation. Okay, well, I'll show you the end result when I've finished it. This is the most boring process for both of us. Okay guys, we're coming to the end. We've polished up this as much as we want, but the problem with this, there's a few dots which are kind of deep inside the stem, which you can't do much about. Just get yourself one of these, a laundry marker, Sharpie laundry marker, and just dot where you can see those brighter spots. And you will find, after a little bit of time, it will seep into the stem and go black. So leave that for a bit. And what we're going to do also, we're going to get some obsidian oil, and we're going to go over the stem. Let's have a close-up of this. Just get a little bit of obsidian oil. Let's put the top on. And one dot like that will do the whole pipe the whole stem, and you just rub it on all the way around, and that will protect the stem and also will stop any further, or slow down any further oxidation, and it makes a lovely shine. So leave that for a little while. Yeah, I've put quite a lot on. You can get all parts of the stem, it's good stuff. There we go, all the way around, and let it seep in and protect. We're going to come back and look at the final product. What I am going to do is just get a horsehair brush, and I'm going to give the briar a buff with horsehair. Don't want it super shiny, same as the stem. Want it to keep within its original character. So just a light shine with a brush. I think it will look lovely. Okay, and there we go. There's the final pipe, all ready for me to smoke. I think it looks quite nice. You can see the shine on the stem, which looks pretty good. It's not absolutely jet black. I didn't want that. Yeah, briar looks really good. It's quite a nice sized bowl. There we go, and the stamping, you can see it. Savory is, it's very hard to see. Can we see it? Savory is Argyle, made in England, 811. That's it. Yeah, lovely piece of briar, isn't it? Very nice. Yeah, so there we go. That's the finished pipe. Didn't take too much work, and I'm sure I'm going to enjoy many bowls through this. Thanks for watching this restoration video, guys. I'll see you next month. Enjoy your pipes and your snuffs and whatever else you do, and take care of yourselves. Thanks. Bye.